Today we're making this really easy and pretty macrame swan pixel wall hanging. Don't forget to take a screenshot of the pattern details. You will need it. Hi friends! On a 6-inch wooden dowel, we're going to attach all 11 cords using a lark's head knot. To tie a lark's head knot, you want to fold your cord in half, and then with the loop end, you want to place that over the top and behind your wooden dowel, and then thread the long tail ends through the loop. Continue with the rest of your cords. So grab another strand, fold it in half, and then with the loop end, place that behind your wooden dowel, and then thread the long tail ends through the loop. Hopefully you took a screenshot of the pattern and printed it out. Where we're going to start is right here at the top left and work our way all the way across the top right. Each square on the grid represents a vertical double half hitch knot in that corresponding color. For our first 3 rows, we're going to be using all pink, so grab a long strand of pink, and I cut off roughly around my arm span. Now we attached 11 cords, and on our grid you will see that there's 22 across, which means we're going to tie our knots around each individual strand of rope. You want your short tail end of your yarn on the right and the long on the left. So place it behind your first strand of rope, make a loop on your right side, and then with your long tail end you want to thread that behind and through the loop. Cinch up the slack just a little bit, and this is a half hitch. And as you can see, all it is just looped around our first strand of rope. To make it a strong, secure knot, you want to tie another half hitch. So make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, and cinch it up. But don't cinch it up too taut because you want to be able to slide this knot all the way up to the top. This is how you tie a vertical double half hitch knot. Once your knot is all the way up to the top, that's when you can tighten it and make your adjustments. To tie your second knot, you want to take the same strand of yarn and place it underneath the next strand of rope. Make a loop on your right, wrap your tail end around and through the loop, cinch it up to the top this time, and then repeat one more time. Make a loop on your right, wrap it around and through the loop, and cinch it up to the top. Now, the absolute key thing in making a macrame pixel wall hanging is that when you're tying your vertical double half hitch knots, you always want it to be in the shape of a square, just like your grid pattern. You don't want your knots to be too squished together or too long in length, otherwise it will distort your pattern. You want your knots to be almost perfectly square, just like your grid pattern. If your knots aren't perfectly square, you have 2 options. You can either adjust your tension, you can either tie your knots a little bit looser or tighter, depending on what you need to make it square. Or if it's too big of a difference, then you might need to switch brands of yarn. Okay, so moving on to the second row. As you can see, we went straight across to the right. Now we need to go back in the opposite direction. Working with the same strand of pink yarn that you were working with for your first row, what you want to do is you want to take it behind the very last strand of rope and drag it over to the left. Then make a loop on your left, wrap your long tail end behind and through that loop. Cinch it up to the top and repeat one more time. So it's pretty much the exact same thing as our first row, only we're going backwards. So again, with the next strand of rope, place your yarn behind that, make a loop on your left, wrap your tail end around and through the loop, and repeat. Macrame pixel art is fairly easy since it's just the same knot over and over and over again. However, the bigger the grid that you have and the more colors, the more details, the more difficult it becomes. So this one I would consider beginner friendly because there's only a few different colors and it's quite small. The most difficult part, I would say, is probably the time it takes. Now I'm quite fast at this, and this took me just under 2 hours. However, I really enjoy making these. This is my favorite form of macrame. It's kind of like a painting in knots. Alright, so for the third row, we're going to go back in the other direction. So grab your same strand of yarn and drag it over to the right and continue tying your knots. As you can see, my strand of pink yarn is quite short now. To fix that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your short tail end and you're going to hide it towards the back of your work. Then grab your ball of yarn and snip off another long piece. And again, I like to use about the length of my arm span because I find that it's long enough that you can tie quite a few knots, but not too long that you're constantly pulling it through the loop. So to attach it, we're attaching it just the same way we did at the very start of the project. So with your short tail end on the left and the long on the right, you want to make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, tighten that loop just a little bit, and then repeat one more time. Make a loop on your right, wrap your long tail end around and through the loop, and then cinch it up. But don't cinch this one up too taut so that you can slide it all the way up to the top. Then you can make your adjustments. Tuck that short tail end that you have on the right behind your work with the rest of your loose ends. Just ignore those for now and we will get to them at the end. Okay, so now with your new long strand of pink yarn, continue tying your vertical double half-hitch knots. Every time I complete a row, I like to highlight the row on my grid pattern just so that I can keep track. Now with a small pattern, it's not really necessary, but for the larger detailed ones, it definitely is. So it's a good habit to have. Now for the fourth row, as you can see, we're going to switch to a new color. We have 5 pink at the start and then 5 white after that. So what I like to do is I like to map it out first before I continue tying my knots. So the first 5 are the pink and then the next 5 are the white. So with the very last white piece, I like to put it up over the top. Since we're going back in the opposite direction, that is going to be our very first white knot. I find mapping it out first really helps save time. That way I can focus on all the pink all the way up to that point and then worry about my color change. Okay, so let's jump ahead and tie all of these pink knots from right to left until we get to that one that's flipped up. Alright, so with your pink strand of yarn, you want to place that off to the side. We will get back to it later. And I like to double count just to make sure that I have it correct. And I do. So grab your white ball of yarn and grab a long length. Again, my arm span is what I use. Snip off a long piece. And we're going to attach it kind of just the same as we did before, except we're on a row that goes backwards. That means this time your short tail end is going to be on the right and the long on the left. So place your yarn behind your next strand of rope. And remember, the direction that you're going on your row is always going to be the longer side of your yarn. So make a loop on your left this time. Wrap your long tail end behind and through the loop. Cinch it just a little bit and then repeat. Make a loop on your left this time. Wrap your long tail end behind and through the loop and cinch it up. But again, don't cinch this up too taut so that you can slide it all the way up to the top. Then all you have to do is tuck that short tail end behind your work. So anytime you run out of length of your working cord, or you need to switch to a new color, this is the exact same way that we're always going to attach a new piece. So now instead of working with the pink yarn, we're going to continue with the white, and make sure you leave the pink off to the side because we're going to need it again in just a minute. Macrame pixels are my absolute favorite thing to macrame. I design all my patterns myself, so if there is any particular image that you would like me to create, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do for you. I lean more towards more animals or nature-inspired images, but I'm open to most suggestions as long as there's going to be no copyright issues, meaning I'm not going to make like a Pikachu or a Sonic or something Star Wars or anything of that nature. Now, I don't mind making fan art, but I do kind of want to refrain from anything that's copywritten. And of course, I would love to be super inclusive to everyone. I am Canadian and I prefer to refrain from anything that's political. Alright, so now we need to switch back to the pink. So locate your last pink strand of yarn. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all these middle cords and flip them up and run that pink yarn right underneath the back. You want it underneath your rope, but on top of your previous white strand of yarn. Then all you have to do is go to your next strand of rope and tie your vertical double half-hitch knot just the same as you were before. Now on the back side, you will notice you will have a stitch running right across your white section, and that is totally fine. However, if you have to run a color from one end of your pattern to the other side, then that stitch is going to be quite large, and I find it's better to just attach a new piece. Since this is a fairly small macrame pixel wall hanging, I don't really have to worry about that. I'm just going to run it the whole time, but that's something to consider if you are working on any other project. Now, if you are one of those types of people who really have to have a perfectly neat backside of your wall hanging, then I do suggest attaching a new piece. You will just have a lot of short strands in the back, and we will get to that at the end of the project. However, for me, this is a small tapestry and nobody should be looking at the back anyhow, so I don't really mind if there's a whole bunch of stitches. Before we motor on through this pattern, I want to show you one more time another color change. So again, I need to switch back to the white here. So place your pink strand off to the side, locate your previous white, and as you can see, it's already on the right hand side from the previous row. That is fine, as long as it's on the right hand side or the direction that you are going in your row. Then just make your loop on whatever side that is and continue. For this row, we are working from left to right. So whenever you switch colors, you want to always make sure your cord is on the side of the direction that you're going. So in this case, it's on the right hand side. And again, once you reach the end of the white section, you want to lift up all those filler cords. Locate your previous pink strand of yarn and you want to run it underneath. So it's under your rope but on top of your white strand of yarn. And please note, when you're running it behind, you don't want to pull your cord too taut, otherwise it might pucker in the back. Looser is always better than too tight. Okay, so we're going to continue zigzagging all the way down our grid pattern. Alright, once you've tied your last vertical double half hitch knot, we're going to flip over our wall hanging and clean up the mess on the back. To clean up the mess, what I like to do is locate any two strands of yarn that are close together and tie just a simple double overhand knot. And then I like to snip off the excess length. So continue on, finding any two cords that are close together and then tie a double overhand knot and snip off the excess. If you wanted to, you could take a tapestry needle and weave in the ends along the back. However, with yarn, I find that this is the fastest, easiest way to clean up the back. If you wanted to be super professional about it, I do suggest using fusible fleece and ironing that on the back. Now, to trim the fringe, I'm just going to do straight across, and I like to use masking tape. Masking tape gives me a nice straight line. Also, when you snip it off, all of your loose ends are stuck on the tape, and that really reduces a big mess for later. If you make this macrame pixel tapestry, please tag me on Instagram. I would truly love to see it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.